Hey fellow foodies, it's Faye from faysfood.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make these delicious chocolate and raspberry mousse cups. So I have a little bit of cold water here, and I'm just going to sprinkle over the top some powdered gelatin. I'm using halal beef gelatin. I will link in the description below and on the recipe where you can get this exact brand. But if you can't use gelatin, halal or otherwise, you can use Agar-Agar in its place, which is a seaweed substitute, and you can leave it all out altogether, if I can say that. However, the mousse won't set up as well if you do that. It will be more of a whipped cream consistency, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so I'm going to just set this to the side and let it bloom for about 5 minutes. And once it's bloomed, you can see it's nice and thick. I'm going to go ahead and pour it into my saucepan over a medium-high heat. I'm going to pour in some water. And now I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle in some granulated sugar. And now I'm going to add in the raspberries. I'm using some frozen berries that I had on hand, but you can definitely use fresh if you have that. The beauty of this recipe is it's very versatile. Okay, so we have our berries in there, and now I'm going to go ahead and zest in some lemon. Just really will bring out more of the tartness of the berries. Okay, and after you zest the lemon, just add the juice from that same lemon. And if a few seeds get in there, don't worry about it. We're going to go ahead and strain this later on, so no big deal if that happens. Okay, so we want to bring this to a boil. On a medium-high heat. You want to stir occasionally. Once it does reach a boil, you want to turn it down to a low heat and bring it to a simmer for about 5 minutes. Make sure you do stir occasionally. Alright, so we have our beautiful sauce now. However, it's full of seeds from both the lemon and the raspberries themselves. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna just go ahead and pour the entire sauce through a sieve over a bowl, and I'm just gonna strain this all out. There's no need to get a blender or food processor dirty. There's really no need for that. This will do the trick. So just take your time and really strain it well, push it through, and push as much through as you can. And as you go through the process, you're going to see that the more thicker portion of the raspberries will kind of collect on the bottom of the sieve. All you do is just scrape that all into your bowl. Now that's beautiful. The last thing we got to do for this sauce is I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla extract. We don't necessarily want to do that on the heat, so I'm just going to do that last. Once I add in the vanilla, I'm going to go ahead and let this cool for about 10 minutes. And in the meantime, you can prep the rest of the things, the containers that you're going to place this in, the chocolate cake, and the Oreo cookie crumbs. So next step is we want to whip our heavy cream. Now, a few things when you're whipping cream: you always want to start with a cold bowl, a cold whip, and of course cold heavy cream. Another thing I was taught is that you always want to start high and end high. So whenever you're whipping heavy cream, you really want to start on the highest setting and end on the highest setting. Okay, we're just going to whip this until it reaches soft peaks. And this is the consistency we're looking for. And I'm just going to add in half of the cooled raspberry sauce. And I'm going to add the sauce in 2 stages, basically because I want to make sure I incorporate the sauce really well into the cream. So you really just want to fold it gently. And make sure you get the bottom, the sides. And you can see the mousse is really going to become this nice, beautiful, natural pink color. There's no need to use any food coloring or anything unnatural. Okay, so I added in all the sauce and my mousse is ready to go. So now I have my container that I'm using, which is just those little plastic cups you can get from anywhere. I'm just gonna push in a little bit of cake on the bottom. Obviously, if you want it to look nicer, you would cut 8-inch cake in half, and then you cut out rounds using a round cutter or ring cutter, just for a nicer look. But like this, you just cut out the cake and place them on the bottom, and as you layer them, you just keep cutting out rounds and use those. But really, I'm serving myself, so there's no need for that. Plus, I'm using some leftover cake I had in the freezer. So I'm gonna go ahead and spoon over some of the mousse. And then I'm gonna just sprinkle on top some Oreo cookie crumbs. Now, because of the cake and the crumbs, I definitely wouldn't recommend this staying in the fridge longer than a day. Everything will just get too soggy at that point. So really make this as close as to when you're serving it as possible. So I'm able to get 2 layers out of this, which is perfectly fine for me. So the last layer is going to be some mousse. And then just flatten it as best as possible. Okay, now I'm gonna wrap these carefully and then place them in the fridge for at least 2 hours. You really want them to set. And after they set up, this is what they're gonna look like. You can see they got nice and thick, and that's what we're looking for. And now you can really decorate them as you please. I actually lost my piping tips, so I'm gonna kind of give it a swirl of its own, but I'm gonna just decorate it with some whipped cream. So you can definitely get away with just swirling some whipped cream on top. They look beautiful as is. However, I'm going to kind of take it up another notch and add the Oreo cookie crumbs to the top of these things. They look beautiful. They taste absolutely divine, especially on a nice hot summer day. These really do hit the spot. Give these a try. The full recipe is on facefood.com. Give this video a like and make sure you comment below if you have any comments or questions. I'd love to hear from you guys. Make sure you subscribe to this channel for more great videos on the way, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any more videos that are coming up. Until next time, guys, you have a wonderful day.
Take it there, cause you know I need it. It really ain't fair, 'cause promise, you know I mean it. You got all of me at just one time. Stay here with me, we'll be fine. And it's taking me forever